You better not ask for nothing. You better not ask for nothing. You better not ask for nothing. Feeding you greatness, everything you need. Pull up to the table and fulfill, Jill, baby. Got the last week for the culture and what's trending. Foolishness and friends, everything in between.
But y'all not listening when we say don't ask for nothing. Whatever you need,
anything, everything, all
you'll be fulfilled right here. Tune in, turn up.
What's the deal, folks?
Hello, everybody. It's
What's
Tuesday, and we're about to have wait, Bajish, where's the black box?
Oh yeah, the black box is right here.
Where's the black box?
Don't worry, the black box. Listen, the black box is never far away.
So this is our kink episode. Welcome. We are waiting for our Kimi Bay, and we have a special guest tonight.
That's my sound effect for the night.
All right, let's get into it. Let's bring in our guest so we can see what we're talking about this evening.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello there. Tell the people who you are.
I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, we're excited to have you.
Thank you.
So my name, she's actually in my house right now, and my name is on her display, but that's obviously me. Tell us who you are, madam.
I like the name Riley. You can call me that.
Riley?
Yes.
I like it. If you had to tell us one thing about Riley, what would you say?
She's definitely like this character. She's like my out, sexual, fun, like dark BDSM like character. She's who I wish I was more often.
So it's like your alter ego.
Yeah, she's my first alter ego for sure.
How many you got?
3 that I know of. There might be a 4th, but 3 that I know of.
Do they all have different names?
Yes. My best friend taught me to do that. They all have different names.
All right, so we can start out with Riley. Tell us a little bit about Riley.
Okay.
What is Riley about?
She's my pink character. She's the one that wants to come on your show.
All right. So let's get into this little conversation. So we can pass this around to everybody. Would you consider yourself sexually free? And what has been a peak moment for you?
Yes. I would consider myself sexually free, or at least like that's the goal, that's the end game. And I've definitely gotten like a lot closer to that. So I feel pretty good. What did you say was the second part of the question?
What has been a peak moment, a moment that you had where you were like, oh shit, I've reached my point. Like I'm there.
A peak moment. Those are good moments. I think definitely like personally for me, it would be like realizing a difference between what I thought I wanted and what like people put out there, and then versus like what I really liked, and also like the bravery and the interest and the desire to pursue that. Because I think even for a lot of people, even if they figure out what they really like, they don't want to tell anyone. They don't want to like pursue it. It might be too crazy, or they might have an opinion of what it is. They don't want to do it. But that's a turning point. That's a strong turning point. It was definitely a turning point for me, like realizing what I really liked and choosing to like pursue that.
I like to get into the details. So what do you really like? Like what? How far are we taking it?
I'm really complex, and I like that about myself. And it's what I like and I want for people. Like, figure out what you're into, and it's okay if it's a lot of different things. Like, people are people like that, very individual, unique. Um, and what you're interested in changes with time and introductions to people and stuff in your life. So, like, feel free to be like free like that and like this now and that's something else. But I'm pretty complicated. Lately, I've been going with like queer for sure. Like,
Happy Pride.
I identify with the gay community, and like labels become important at some point. So I don't only like girls. I don't only like guys. I like both. But I like more than just guys and girls too. Like, I like a lot of what's happening. Like, I like just people for who they are, what's in their heart. If you're trans, I don't care. If you don't want to identify as anything, be non-binary, that's cool too. I don't care. Like, I like people. So I like to like let myself be open to whatever those options are, no matter what package it comes in.
Okay. I need you to tell me, what do you like?
I'm queer. I would call it queer, like free spirited into everything, and therefore like into everything, like not prudish. Like, no, I don't have a lot of like hindrances. Like, I'm into everything. Ask me more questions. Like, I could narrow it down if you ask me more questions.
A good way to narrow it down. So if you are going to look at porn, what are your top 3 categories that you're going
to? Okay, so it's safe to say that like everybody watches porn, right?
Yes.
And you guys both watch porn?
Yeah.
Or some version of porn? Yeah.
Yeah, I watch porn.
Okay. Our whole audience, they nasty.
All right. I'm going to answer your question, but I have one more question. How long would you say you've liked porn for? Like, when did you first start watching it?
I thought I watched it for, yeah.
Roundabout. What did you say? I'm sorry.
I started watching it young, but I don't know. I probably seen my first flick. Probably right around the time I hit puberty. Probably was like in middle school, I'm sure.
Like 11 or 12 or something like
that?
Yeah,
something like that.
You, love?
I probably saw, I feel like I saw glimpses of a lot of things. Whenever I saw anything sexual on TV, I think I naturally gravitated towards it. If I saw, like, I think, like you see stuff on HBO. I think I started watching like Real Sex really early and like Taxi Cab Confessions and like Hookers on the Point on HBO. So, like, like you start with like stuff like that because like that's what was available,
Right.
Probably very young. I think I always
same 11, 12.
Well, listen, look at the comments. We got somebody that said they watch porn in kindergarten.
Oh, I can relate to that. Okay. Very young age, like sexual abuse.
I think, yeah. I found a book. My mother's not watching. I found a book that my mother had. It had a bunch of like sexual positions in it and shit like that. And I remember looking at the book and thinking like, like I want to know this stuff so I'm prepared.
Right. I had that thought.
You're very young.
All right. I was pretty young too. I was really asking because I was wondering, like, when you start young like that and you've watched porn for that long, for me personally, the answer, what am I into porn-wise? It's changed a lot.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to ask you guys. Just
okay, you want to make sure. No, you in a safe space. Don't even worry about it.
You know what I mean? Like, I almost feel like you have to.
Yeah, no. Really that's why Modi is like, what do you like? And she want to get to the nitty-gritty. You like,
I do it. I'm doing the fastest way. Let's break through this gravel, and then I can tell you what I'm into.
We had that at home, so you good.
We got that at home. I like it. Yeah, I don't want whatever I'm into to like look like the whole.
It's the whole picture, right? And it's all like.
I like shit. I like everything. Like even
circumstantial.
Yeah, if no porn were playing, and you put up 2 beautiful ladies going at it and it's gorgeous, of course I'm gonna like that. And I had a long like lesbian porn phase, but that's like one of the many phases. I've had so many phases. I watch a lot of gay porn. I'm gonna be honest. It has a lot to do with just like I think ideas in my head of like what I wish would happen, or just like social commentary, and it like manifests itself in like certain porn. But
so if you're watching gay porn, what is the social commentary like that?
Oh my god! So even with gay porn, I love everybody, and I want you to be yourself, be free, enjoy what you like. I don't want soft, young twink. That's a category. Twink is like a Twinkie candy, you know, like that little yellow cake filled with cream, like soft, sweet kind of a boy. And it's a beautiful boy. And a lot of people like that boy. But I'm more into I like really masculine, aggressive, abrasive, like hairy mid, weight, big cocks. And they're just like, it's almost like a physical assertion, just like a dominance thing. Like, because that's just where my brain is at sometimes currently. Just.
When you are watching, do you imagine personal? Do you imagine yourself as one of the people?
Sometimes. I remember fantasizing about sex and like creating pornographic images in my head very, very, very young. And that's what I would do. Like I would storylines. People love that. Soap operas, like even our favorite TV shows were like into like the characters' love lives. I like storylines. Like, you could justify a lot with a storyline. If it's this or that and the details match, you could see yourself doing something that you may not do. And that's a turn on for a lot of people, and then that leads to like sex or at least arousal. So yeah, I definitely use my brain a lot. That's my best pornographic like agent is my mind. I don't have to have anything, and I can just make it happen in my brain because I think about it long enough.
Are you a big talker?
Sometimes. I also think there's a difference between men and women. Like women can get buried in their head and talk a lot, and men don't necessarily need all that. Physical is like where it's at for them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. We get some more to the comments. They want to know.
Yeah.
What kind of?
I feel like last week Sam brought it up in the comments. She was like that she likes lesbian porn, and I was like, we all do, girl. I feel like every woman goes through some period of their lives where they're into seeing lesbian porn. I mean, yes, I like lesbian porn. And I feel like I'm pretty vanilla when it comes to things. I do like the softer. I'm so corny.
You got your mask on.
You know what? I got my little mask on. You know what? I do like I like more home video type of stuff where the people look like they're really in a relationship and they're really enjoying each other and they're like really into it. Yeah. I don't need all the fake screams and like I don't know.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
I like solos. I like amateur porn too. I like
Is that what it's called? Amateur porn?
Yeah,
it's called amateur like home video type stuff. I like that. I also like group stuff.
Group.
I'm not. This was a mature. Yeah. So I like group stuff. I like solo stuff. I like amateur and interracial.
Okay.
Interracial. Okay. That color contrast.
You said what?
That color contrast.
Yeah, sometimes it's like during the political climates, sometimes that's where I
wonder, do you like suspend all like, daily beliefs about it? Let's say if you're super political about something or whatever, when it comes to like you and your porn in the middle of the night, does all that shit go out the window?
No. Sorry, you go first. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Yeah, you go. No, I mean I am who I am still, but like I don't want to hear like certain stuff. Like I don't. You still I don't hear no white lady saying nigga, like stuff like that. But like everything, yeah, I still got my beliefs and stuff that I don't want to see or I ain't gonna click on. But like, it's still some stuff I would hate for somebody to see my search history. Like,
okay.
Riley.
Go ahead, Riley.
can I say this just because I don't think I'll ever be able to say this ever again, where the context makes sense. I do watch a lot of porn. Sometimes there's a lot of ads along the sides, and I've seen shit where I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, no, like some things go out the window, but I've seen some shit where like it gets real racial and shitty and confrontational, and I'm just like,
yeah,
you did not do this. Or it'll be like somebody will pull someone over and they want to like fuck them in the ass for a ticket. It's like clearly playing out and I was like, this is why we got so many problems. Like the porn you were watching the day before. I've seen some stuff where, like, especially I love all the kinks in the world. No kids, no rape. And there's a thing as like consensual rape where like you don't want to know what's happening, but you still consent to it. Like, I get that, so I'll give you the space for that, but no actual rape. But like, I think race play for me definitely would have to fall in that category because it just perpetuates too many stereotypes and like a lot could come out during sex and it could get a little too real too quickly and too vulnerable too quickly. And I feel like it's just not a good place to be sometimes with sex.
I wonder, like, dig like a little deeper, maybe. Like, do you think that it could be a safe place for somebody who maybe has those thoughts and wants to act them out, but they're like, I can act it out in sex play so it doesn't come out somewhere else? Yes, the thoughts or whatever are negative, but let's say you have them. Like, what if this is one way to deal with them and it like suppresses it enough where you can go about your daily activities and not be an evil human being?
What? It exists. Hey.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Brother King.
What's going on?
I'm sorry, what's your name tonight, sir?
Chunky Thunder.
Chunky Thunder. Let's reintroduce ourselves. Chunky Thunder. I am Silk Jones. Sir?
Who, me?
Yes, you.
I'm Dick and Dreads.
And Madam
Riley.
That's
my
They was waiting on this game.
Don't get my mistress name. I'll give you my like casual name.
Okay, Cash. We love Cash.
I'll take it. I love it.
Yeah, we was talking about porn. We being there.
Keen. I'm sorry. Chunky Thunder. What? I'm gonna call you CT, okay? CT. What are your porn categories?
I don't know if I live like that. But if I did, I don't know.
What if I did?
You know what? We'll let you warm up.
Yeah, let me think about it. I will interrupt you guys to let you know.
All right, we will be coming back and revisiting. So if Riley, man, if you had to talk about one category that is like most interesting for you to discuss and you could put us on because we want to, we want to be in the world. What is something that you can share with us? We want some juice.
I mean, okay, I super love pegging. Do you guys want to talk about that?
Okay.
Let's talk about pegging.
First of all, I had no idea what that was until a few years ago. Somebody had said it to me and I was like, huh? And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I really, really, literally love male anal pegging. I'm a girl. I identify as a female. I've had like dick in my butt before. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I'm very like almost strategical about it. Like I can like bit and bear it. What do they call that expression? Grit and bear it. Like I can like take things. And I don't think that's fun with sex anymore. That's like a thing I'm on about now. Like, if it's not fun, don't do that. Like, just because you can, it doesn't mean you have to. So sometimes dudes are like, I can get it in there. And I'm like, I know, but like, it's not going you can, doesn't mean you should.
Yeah.
That happens with female anal a lot. Like, well, I can do it. You can give birth. You can take a butt, but it's not nice. But I do like anal sex, and I like what goes into receiving a dick in your butt. And I feel like I've done a lot, and I understand like all of the parts, like, you know, the speed, the tempo, the mood, all of it, your personality that goes into it. And I especially like male anal because I think it's a little harder for guys to want to be cool with that. But I've met a lot of guys who are interested or curious at the very least. But even still, there's like a barrier that prevents guys from like trying it or asking anyone about it. You know. And I want to be like, I love being this guardian angel to like your sexual. As long as your shit ain't like rapist, like as long as it's not like bad for humanity, you're not like a pedophile, like as long as it's nothing like that. I like helping people figure out and come into their own. That's like my shit. Like, can we say shit? I'm sorry. Can we? Are we allowed to?
You're fine. We're on the internet.
Cool. I'm not sure.
Say it how you want to say it.
I don't want you to lose any license or anything. I'm sorry.
Say it how you want to say it.
Is a large part of the pegging like the power for you, like the power play?
It's a component. It's not the whole thing, but of course, like just changing roles and trying the difference. Like it takes a while to learn yourself sometimes, and then you have to learn the other person that you're involved with. And like for a lot of people, it's the opposite of who they are. So it takes a different education because it's not something that you're used to with yourself. You're like opening your mind for a different person's experience. And so there's definitely for sure a component that's like thrusting, and like even you learn shit. You start to like, you relate to people. You're like, yo, I understand why you retired last night because it takes a lot. So, like, you think a lot of me thrusted in these positions and like holding the stamina. Like, I want to believe it's loving and it brings people closer together. That's what I used to say that all the time. Guys have, you know, penises, balls. Women have vaginas. They're very different mechanisms, but we both have butts, and there's like a common ground there. There's a uniqueness, like. And there's a lot of nerve endings in the body that land right there in that area, just like your feet and your hands, your head, the top of your head, you know, stuff like that. So I always liked it because I felt like, hey, this is a place where we can come together and be on common ground and understand each other and have fun and experience a different kind of pleasure. But it takes a certain mind to be comfortable with it, for sure. And that's also what I think is cool, but very complicated. Like, everyone's not going to be okay with it, and some people are going to be very not okay with it. It's just sort of.
Is this something you're approaching in relationships? Or are you seeking certain people out? Like, how do you figure out that this is something somebody is into?
I love this question because I remember when I was thinking about it as it happened over the years. It took a while. It's something that I realized I was into on my own. It's something that I started noticing people brought up, but they brought up in those ways that were very like quiet, apprehensive. Like people, guys, especially men, they would tell me like, "I swear to God, you ever tell anybody, I'll fucking kill you. I'll fight you. I'll kill your family." It's like it's a huge point of like personal association.
Yes.
Like it undoes people's thinking of who they are, which is difficult for any period, whether it's someone's religion or how they were raised or anything. Like you undo something super fundamental, and it takes time to process. And even if you may never move forward, if you do, it still takes like a lot of time. So, but even despite that barrier, it was something I started noticing that guys would like ask about, you know, or allude to, or just like slide your hand there while you're hanging out, and you're like, great, you want me to like stick it in your back, and I have fun. I started feeling the other things I said already, like. I started liking the dynamic switch and the role play and the commonality between us. And I wanted to like see how many other people were into that. And it just kind of grew from there.
Or you got people wanting to dibble into it. You got the folks rather you to dabble.
I told you I'm your guardian angel. Like, I get to make you comfortable. And all of a sudden you're like, I didn't even know I like this, but I kind of do.
Right.
That's my role.
Do you ever find that in a relationship that it like that balance that you're creating in your sex life, does it like flow over into other areas?
Sometimes. And you definitely have to like understand if that's what's happening and to what degree, and be very specific about it, because it doesn't necessarily mean that it flows over in the same ways. So liking that doesn't automatically mean that you're one thing, like soft or this or that. Like people have everything in very varying degrees, and that's included. And that's the part of sex I like as well. Like I feel like across the board, no matter what you're into, there's varying degrees of like preference. And the only way to have successful relationships is to communicate what you're into and then find out what they're into and see if you can make that work. You know, that's the closest you can come. But there's no like broad generalizations, because there's too much involved to like do that, you know. And it will like block some people off because they're not something, but they still want to try it. But if they think they're that to be it, they won't do it. If that makes sense.
It's all mental, but I think it's also like very fluid. Like you might only want to do certain things with certain people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
True.
So it's like that's where it comes. Like you might like this, but not with you. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then some people might have the power to have you try something you might thought you would never try. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Very true.
I think something like that can keep you attached to somebody, right? Where you have that experience with them of this one thing, and you feel like you can only experience it with that one person.
With them. Yep, I've experienced that. Where it's like I didn't want or like them for anything else, but like that was really strong. Aspect, you want to maintain it because it would take too much to build it with someone else. Where like nobody else will ever get it, but this person does, and it makes it like, yeah, definitely.
That's special.
Yeah.
Yes. Categories? Checking in.
And the category is I think that my categories would be if I lived like that. I don't know what it would be called. Probably something dealing with rough sex. Probably not all the way to like, oh, Riley loves that.
Doesn't have to be queer, but it can definitely be like a little like pain.
Yeah, maybe not to the extreme, but a little hint of something extra.
Okay.
Something dealing with booty meat.
You like hardcore.
Oh, hardcore. There's the name.
Hardcore.
My ears are too big. My ears are too big. There we go.
Look at the whip. I want to be into whatever Riley into.
Well, I was gonna say this is a big question. If you talk about like BDSM or any kind of pain, are you like top or bottom?
I like to be in control. But I'm open to not being in control.
That's switch. Switch.
Come on, switch.
Like I'm not entirely either one, but I'm definitely a mezcla, a little mix of both. So that's switch.
Okay, then I'll take it.
I like to be worshipped.
With hot candle wax or no?
I like body worshiping, but I like to be.
Wait, you want to be the one worship?
I want to be the one worship. Yes.
That's dumb.
That's all y'all gonna get for free. So, you know?
I want some of this special international liqueur. Can I help myself?
Yes.
I love it.
Where were we? I'm thrown.
You asked the question. Now you better keep up.
Tell me your name again, Lady Love.
Silk Jones.
Silk Jones. What are you into?
Huh?
What are you into?
Yeah.
It looks like that question was answered a good minute ago.
You know, dom, switch, worship, not worship. What do you like? You cannot escape. You got
I think I'm pretty well rounded. I think I could definitely like switch it up. I think I'm like I really like this is so good.
Yeah, spot. You gotta do it.
I just want to have my feet rubbed and be massaged. I like physical. I like to be like kind of like manhandled a little bit. I'm gonna leave it right
there. Switch.
And that's it.
A little of both.
I can do yeah, definitely a little bit. I can do both for sure. Depends on the mood.
See what I mean? You know, there's so many varieties of it, like 10%, 8%, 2%, 12%. Like those varieties are what make us unique. That's what I like about kink. Like that's why I want to help people cross into their kink, because it gets locked into certain things, and I'm like, it could be anything you want it to be. You just gotta believe in it and try it.
Who is it? Who is Rose?
What?
Who is that? Who's messing with me?
Come on, Belle.
All right, so ma'am, so let's talk about you in this kink world, right? We know you're into the kink. You have on a mask for a reason.
Yes.
And we're into, you know, in the world, escorting people into a good time and experience so they can enjoy themselves, and they'll shower you with roses of all kinds.
Can I go grab a rose? I want to grab a rose.
Grab a rose, baby.
It's very good for this.
Go get yourself a rose, hon.
Yes.
You are nasty.
All right. So, you know, sometimes you can do some things for some change, or you can do some things for some roses. And so talk to us about doing things and sharing roses.
Okay. Well, obviously roses is what would you call it? Not a euphemism.
A noun
for flowers.
A metaphor.
Metaphor. I love roses. They're beautiful. Who doesn't like roses?
I know. I'm into it.
Okay, I will answer you. My question, have you guys ever like dabbled in any way on your own in the world of roses, or the market to like for people who want roses, like anything like that?
No.
This is my first time hearing about it, actually.
Nobody. No massage parlors, no strip clubs, like no after-hour strip clubs.
I have a confession to make.
Tell me.
And y'all really gonna think I'm innocent and pure after this.
Not have these roses.
No, I have never been to a strip club.
Really?
So I definitely ain't dealing with never. I don't know how. Like it just never happened.
I've actually been dying to go to one like lately. We should have lunch.
Lunch. I love it. I love it.
We should have lunch.
I want to know about the rose world.
Yeah, I feel like you know. Everybody knows. Like even if they don't do, they know, or people around them do, and so therefore they know. Like, okay.
When you play, some people get flued out. Other people get bags.
Oh.
Some people get roses. Okay.
That's something I really like about roses. I feel like I think of roses in terms of like recreational, like everybody budgets in their life, and you have a budget for your recreation, like whether it's movies or like toy trades or whatever you like to do for your fun. And like roses represents like the market of that market's existed for all of time. Like people who want some kind of favor and a certain desire. And, you know, I want to be very vague, so in case this ever gets me in trouble one day.
So let's say,
full disclosure, then I'll tell you all about roses. Because for me, I love to work in general, and I believe in anything you use. Like I've always said that, like if you're a carpenter, you use your hands to build things. And if you're a mathematician and you create stuff, you use your brain. So it's like, what difference is any part of your body for the purpose of surviving and like getting what you need and all that sort of thing? And the market's old as time, like including all the people that tell you you shouldn't do it or it's bad or illegal to do. Like they visit the world of roses too. So I've always been intrigued by kink and sex and the sex world. Roses is basically a term for finding people who want to make sure you have what you need in order to have the experiences that you want. And I'll leave that up to your imagination if I get to know what it means. It means the same thing that 420 means. It means the same thing that any code word means. Like, you don't want to get in trouble for saying it because of current laws, but it's still a very old industry. It's the oldest industry. I love it. I really do. There's a TV show that I watched on Hulu for like years called Harlots, and it was about rivaling brothel houses in the 1800s in England. Like it's existed forever. You read scripture and it talks about like Jezebels and women in corners seducing men, and like it's amazing. It's amazing because it works. It's amazing because it exists, and if you need it as an option, it's there. And for some people, like any other trade, sometimes you just have a knack for it, or you really like it and you want to get good at it, and there's plenty of people who line up for it. So it's lucrative depending on what you do. And it exists in a lot of legal fashions like strip clubs. There are some escort services that are really legal and on the books. But then there's like the babysitter thing. That's what I call it. Like you have your neighbor babysit for you and you give her like, $10 an hour times 3 hours. So you hand her $30. You write it down. Some people do. Some people don't. But so much of the world turns like that. And so does like a blowjob or like shit like that, simplistic. And I am me, so I never wanted the like nickel and dime version of it. Like you can hand out blowjobs under the bridge. I knock nobody who does that, and without it, she wouldn't exist. I love top shelf shit though, and I like creating top shelf versions of things. And I feel like the fetish world does that because you can get these things that like you're afraid to ask for, that don't really exist. And you get the one person on the planet that's down to do it for you, you're going to pay whatever the fuck it is. Like, especially if it's your birthday or you're like, retirement party, divorce party, or like, I told you it'll be me and my friend, like twins, like whatever. You're going to fucking say, you're going to ante up, whatever the fuck it is. And everybody's just trying to survive,
Yeah. So in the fetish world, is there like a whole places and community that I don't know what to call it, like the normal person wouldn't know of?
Yeah.
I think if you're extremely prudish, maybe you wouldn't, but even if you're not, some things are so like spoken about.
Okay.
Even at work or the office place, that you end up hearing about it at some.
No, I don't know about that, girl.
It's my thing too. It's big. Like it could be like a site of pictures, and that's all you did, and you're looking at pictures, or it could be like where to meet up with someone, or it could be like very specific parties. Like I'm into watching people be spanked, and we watch movies like Eyes Wide Shut. I watched a special during the pandemic on HBO that was very I forgot the name of it. It was very extravagant, lavish parties that were more than just your simple, so like stuff like that, like depending on who you know.
So do you have a network now of people that you know? So like, every weekend or whatever, you have some party that you can go to where you know that everybody is into the same thing that you are?
Yes and no. I've definitely met people in my life, and you keep those communications. And then I've also used very like real sites that exist that have that exist for that purpose, like events and people who are on it, and you communicate with them, and you either go to a public thing or you create a private party. So, yeah, I do know some people. It's been a while. I didn't do anything during the pandemic, and now that the pandemic's over, I think I've even reached out to people, and I haven't heard back. I was super bummed because sometimes you see like folks that are like, "Down to do anything," so I missed it, and then you reach out to people and you don't hear anything. And you're like, "Oh man," because I wanted to do something. Because I do. It's been a year.
I think that like talking about that, like I think, you know, everybody when they think about the ladies of the night, gentlemen of the evening, we think about safety, and you mentioned the pandemic, and we did have a whole, you know, bodily fluids was a big thing.
Of course. It's always even pre-pandemic, like bodily fluids is bodily fluids, like STDs, even spreading a common cold, like it's bodily fluids are very important. And then the pandemic definitely made it worse, harder.
So I guess, like, how do you make sure that you're keeping yourself safe? Because, like, I do, you know, it is an industry. I believe personally people can do whatever they want with their bodies. I would hope that they are responsible and making sure they're mindful of taking care of themselves and that they don't go overboard. You know, I do, like, life is about balance. I don't, it's like no judgment from me. I just want everybody to be, you know, safe and take care of themselves. And I feel the same way about, like, kind of like drugs or extreme sports or anything. Like, a lot of people do different things, like, for excitement. And I think, like, as long as you keep a balance, you know, everything can be reasonable.
Balance. Everything got to be about balance. Too much of anything is a bad thing.
Yeah.
Right? What can be?
But I think that's very much the truth. I think it's always been the truth, and that's always, like, the backbone of playing. You got to be aware of what the risks are. You have to take it upon yourself to do the, like, research and not rely on other people's information. Ask yourself, know before you engage. And if you don't, and I know that people don't always, that's the risk you're taking. You know, and it definitely is. It's not serious. It's definitely serious. And the pandemic was a totally different experience, but I feel like similar principles, you know, try to be clean, be honest, keep a little distance. Maybe you should stay home. You know what I mean? Like, I was relieved to see events.
Maybe you should stay home, but
did
COVID keep you home?
And then people are stressed and they want to go out, and they have the reverse reaction. Like that. People ignore what they should not ignore when they come. They do it all the time, and I feel like that's always been the case. So you should have used your head then. I hope you use your head now. You don't use your head. These are the consequences. But people are fucking in between for sure.
Right.
So do you, like, when you go into these events and stuff, do you travel, like, do you go by yourself, or do you have like a companion or a buddy, or do you got like a crew, or like?
So this falls into, like, the category of, like, things I've done to be safe in terms of my own experience. This is truthful because the whole vaccine is another conversation. Let me know if you guys ever do a special on the vaccine. But before that, I feel like it's everybody's choice. And I have always made the choice to not go to the normal sex clubs because it's too much. It's too stressful. It's a lot like going to the bar where people hit on you mad hard, except you're at a sex party. So then they're like, well, clearly you want to fuck. It's like, why are you here? And it's like, you did that already at the bar, but now I'm naked or you're naked or whatever. Or this is like expectation or at least like possibility of sex. And they just because you're there, I don't do swinger things. I never did them alone. I may have done one or two in my life, and I was with people who I knew and we were cool, and that was the protectiveness. What I got into early on, the first sex party I ever went to was a femdom party, and that is like specifically female dominant, male submissive. Therefore, like like, it's not for everyone. I don't want everybody to do it. If you don't like that, you're not gonna like it. If you're curious, then it could be for you. But the guy's never gonna like overpower you or even annoy you or like push you to do anything, because like he's literally there as a plaything, and the females are in control, and that provided a measure, more than a measure. It was provided like some pretty, for me, substantial safety. Like I just knew that like I'm not there alone. There's other people here for this. They have their own situation set up. You know, there's the people running the event. There's the security that they put in place. Like even if a dude, which people, you know, guys are. I don't even mean to put down dudes. Dudes are awesome. I love dudes. I love men. But guys like girls, and they make at these events. These events are completely legal. You can find them on social media sites. They either let the girls come free. They charge them something low, like $10, $20 an hour, or not an hour, $10, $20 cover. They give you a discount if you're a guy and you bring a girl, because that's what they wanted. They wanted to win. If you're a dude, they charge you like $150, $200. They try to cut out the riffraff.
Yeah. And
they know that you might still be the kind of scummy dude who's got 200 to blow, and you still suck. But like they're gonna make you money because they don't want you. They want girls, and they want guys that are gonna be cooperative. And men are sometimes very just physically self-gratifying and assertive and fast. There's tons of parties for that. Gangbangs, glory hole stuff, swinger stuff. I'm into femdom parties because they're protective. And that's where I was in my life at the time. Like I wanted to be female dominant. And I wasn't interested in male dominant. So I would go to these parties, and I would go to like very legal social media sites that would promote these parties, and you just show up, and it's fun. And they're not always guys that you would have picked per se, but they're still like options amongst what you're interested in. And it's cool, you know, you get to like play, act out a scene, and then go separate ways, maybe meet up the next time, you know, but it helps develop like communications and friendships and like networking and stuff.
I wonder, like, while you're talking, I'm thinking, like, back to the first question about freedom, like, not just sexually, but I guess, like, in your social life as well, and it's with your friends, family. Like, do your people in your life know about the type of work that you do? And if they do, are they accepting? Like, how is it received?
Okay. It's not just a work. It's a lifestyle thing. And that's why I like it as work, because I enjoy doing it. Like all the things I enjoy doing in my life. So I'm down to like do it monetarily just because I'm good at it, and I see where I can make it work. Some of them do and some of them don't. And that's been like something that I'm about these days. You know, I don't like double lives. I don't like dualities. I get why they exist sometimes. And you play it out for the time period that you have to play it out. But long term, I'd rather be honest about certain things. And I know the pressure that people feel when they have to keep something from someone that they care about. And I respect it too, because I have those scenarios where like I can't tell you and I want to, but I can't. And if I did, all these really bad things would happen. So I'm not going to, but it's difficult for me in the process. That's real. And I identify, and I definitely feel for, and I'm very understanding and supportive of it. But there's some duality to it, because it's sex, you know? Like,
yeah, it has to be.
Yeah. Those are the questions I like for you guys, because I feel like no matter what you feel like you are in the depths of the culture, everyone experiences that. Like, what can you tell your loved ones and what can't you tell your loved ones? Like,
right. I mean, but you don't really go into detail about your sex life. Yeah.
Sometimes people cry. Your grandma's like, so when are you getting married? Or what are you doing?
They do. They do
at the cookout.
I think if I'm directly asked by anyone, I would just answer their questions. I feel like I'm pretty open with people. I don't think there's anything about my life that I'm like deeply hiding. I do want to be appropriate in front of certain audience. I don't want to like shock and awe somebody with like the juicy details of, you know, like, no, I don't want to do that. But if we're in conversation. I'm pretty open. I don't think that anybody in my life is shocked by anything that I say. And hopefully I deliver it in a way that, it will be well received. But I think I'm pretty open. But I don't like to have conversations about what I do in the bedroom. Like, I'm fine doing the things, but we don't always have to talk about the things.
Yeah, I feel like that too. Like, I feel like it's not table talk. So it's like, it's not really a situation that I need to wear on my sleeve unless we about to do it. And it's like, we not. So it's like, what do you need to know about it for? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you need to know about it for? Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, especially like the nitty gritty. Like, what do you? Only the person I'm doing that with need to know about that. Like,
come on, nitty gritty.
Like, we know a little bit of nitty gritty about you.
Who know nitty gritty? Y'all don't know
nothing. All right, there's like a few minutes left in the show, and Miss Riley, you have like a few goodies for us. If somebody wanted to just have a gentle ushering into the world of kink, what are some tools and toys and weapons and things?
I didn't want to get too crazy. I didn't want to give anything away online in case somebody finds it. They're like, hey, that's for me. It was a prank. I'm sorry. Okay, hold on. I'm so clumsy, but I love that about myself. This is my little whip. I actually got this whip on Amazon. And it's a little long, and I've had people tell me they want to cut it, but I want the length. Like, you definitely have to like roll back to like hit it. And I think a Kutik hit me a little bit. I don't know if we should be whipping people's backs, but it's purple and black, and I like it. Some people like being whipped. I'm into it.
Okay. And what is like, all right, so like you use, so this is different than like a regular whip that you would see. So what are the sensations? What do you do with it?
It's not that different. There's some bad whips, like material batters. This is suede. It's colorful, so like aesthetically I like that. It's purple and black, but material-wise, it hurts. If somebody hits you with this, especially because it's long, like the length of it alone with any kind of force in the arm, it's gonna hurt. But there's worse than that. Sometimes people tie ends. They'll put knots on the end of it like this.
Wow.
I'm not that because I like a lot of things, but I see photos where people are like split and bleeding in blisters. I'm a
tear my skin.
I get cut all the time. Like, I don't need blisters in bed. Like, I don't.
No.
And some people love it. I get it. I've known people who are very like, that's cathartic for them. It releases what they want to feel. That's what they're looking for. I don't want to knock you. Like what you like is what makes us individual. That's important. It's why I get to have exactly what I like. So I don't want to shit on it, but I'm not a pain junkie. I don't have any tattoos because I don't think I can stand the needle long enough to have the art. I'm a little soft like that. So, but some people
we got a little whip appeal. What else you got for us?
Whip appeal. This is something I bought for myself. I wasn't expecting to get it. It was on sale. I like furry tails. I'm not super into anal, but I'm definitely capable of anal and open-minded to anal. You make me love it and want it. That's what I say. If you make me want it, I'll do it. You gotta make me want it, and that takes a lot. But
what's that say?
It has a little this is a butt plug. It goes in your butt. It suctions right at the base, so when you tug it, it's gonna come out. It's too wide to slip out by accident. But I need it to be little because I saw some other ones at the store. I was like, who is that for? That's not for me. That's not going in here. I know some people who would love it. I do. I know some people who like size queens. That's what they call them.
Yeah.
I love this little guy.
So we got whip appeal. We got a tail if that's what you're into.
I think that's it. I wanted to bring my little remote control vibrator for you guys, but I forgot it. It's a little butterfly sits right in the front of my panties. Vibrates the clit while I'm on the train. Stress it out. All I do is think of a cool story and press the It looks like an iPod. And it's just like.
Are you controlling it or your shorty is controlling it?
I mean, whoever you hand the remote to.
Oh,
yeah, they come with a remote. I've seen that.
So a random person on the train, you could be like, "Here, handle this for me."
I mean, if you can, yes.
Like,
Liv.
I never thought about that. You could do that.
Live. That's not how I live, but I get
It's a good entertainment.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I feel like on that note, people, happy Pride.
it. Yes.
Wonderful season. Thank you so much, Riley, for joining us and bringing us into your world.
Thank you for being here.
You guys are
Y'all, we are going to be on a little bit of a break during the summer. We're going to be living our best lives, and we will see y'all again in about August or September. Late August, early September.
Till then, y'all got that at home.
We got that out. We got that out. What's going on?
End the episode.